everyone, welcome back and thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be sponsored by Cricut. Plus all of these DIYs are going to be very inexpensive. So I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you do, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to hit the notification bell button so you can get notified every time I upload. With that being said, now let's craft. Alright, starting with my first project, I will be measuring these 2-piece Dollar Tree decor tags. These measure around 4 by 7. Now that I have the measurements, I'm going to go to Cricut Design Space. Design Space is free to use, but it has limited free font, images, and ready-to-make projects. If you want to have access to more, there is a membership you can join. I will have information about the membership down in the description. To start a new project, just click the new button. You can design one yourself or use a ready-to-make. I went to the image button and searched for the word hello. I scrolled down until I found what I was looking for. I then went ahead and searched for fall. I did these separately because I thought I was going to add hello in one tag and fall in the other, but I later changed my mind and did hello fall together. Now here I'm just making them bigger. Here is where I was still thinking of making these separately, but then I decided to cut them together, so I made the hello smaller and added the fall underneath and made it larger. Once I was done, I weld them together, and this makes it easier to adjust the sizing, so I made them smaller than 4 by 7. I personally like to weld my images together, especially if I'm using one color vinyl, so it cuts them together. Once I was ready to cut this, I clicked make it. I then had to choose how I wanted to load my material, on a mat or without. And this is what I love about this machine, the options you can use. Since I'm using a smart vinyl, I can use this machine without the mat. The next step is to select the material you're using, and then you're going to go and load the material onto your Cricut machine. Honestly, this is so easy to use. It literally tells you step by step. The Maker 3 is very powerful and cuts so much faster than the Maker. It can cut, draw, emboss, engrave, perforate, and score a variety of materials like regular vinyl, iron-on, cardstock, felt, leather, chipboard, basswood, fabric, and more. Using the Cricut tool, I'm going to weed the image, and then I'm going to use the Cricut transfer paper and transfer it to one of the tags, which this is very easy. For the other tag, I used a Dollar Tree pumpkin that came in a pack of 8. I did paint this, and I added a jute twine bow. To finish this off, I added some jute twine to the Hello Fall tag, which I think it made it look so much nicer. And look how cute these turned out. For my next projects, I will be using another pair of tags, but this time they are square. Once again, I measured these first before I went to Cricut Design Space. Once I was in my Cricut Design Space, I clicked New Project, then Image, which I searched for Farm Fresh Pumpkins. I then scrolled down until I seen the one I liked. I clicked on it and then changed the size. Now the tags were 4x7, so I did have to make it a little bit smaller than that. And I changed the color to white. Now for the other tag, I will be adding 3 pumpkins, which I searched for pumpkins. And then I seen 3 that almost look like the same style and different shapes. Once I had the 3 pumpkins I liked, I changed all of them to one color. I then arranged them to how I wanted them to go, and I made them to the size I wanted them to be. Now, once I had all 3 of them, I weld them together so then I can size that to 5x7, or actually 4x7, my bad. After I was finished, I went ahead and cut Farm Fresh first. And then instead of cutting them all individual one by one, like it's showing me here that it's going to do, after I had cut the Farm Fresh, I went back, canceled. I then went back and deleted Farm Fresh since I already cut that. And then I aligned the pumpkins together, ungrouped them, and put together the little So I then went ahead and welded this together since I wanted everything to cut in one load. And what I did is I went ahead and clicked Make It, and I'm actually going to do this on a mat. Here I'm going to see where I am going to place the vinyl on the mat, and this is how I place them. So I am going to use different colors of vinyls for each of the pumpkins, and for the little stems I'm using some brown. I'll have all the vinyls I used down in the description box in case you want to check them out. I then proceeded to load the button and then click the little play button so I can start cutting. I'm going to read all of the images and then I'm going to start transferring them to the tags. With one piece of the transfer tape, I managed to transfer all 3 pumpkins and the stems, and it still had adhesion. And this is how it looks. Now I didn't like how I placed the 2 smaller pumpkins, so what I did is I used a little Cricut tool and I just moved them down like that. I was able to add some jute twine to the top of the tag. To finish it off, I added a bow, and that is sick. Look how beautiful these turned out. For this next project, I'm using this Dollar Tree wood palette. Each plank is 6 inch by 1 inch. Using some white chalk pen, I'm going to paint this and distress it using the Waverly Antique Wax. Now going to design space, I'm going to make my own project. I searched for the word welcome and chose the one I like. I then sized it. It has to be smaller than 6 inch by 1 inch. For 2 hour, I am going to just click text and make it myself. So I'm going to just choose the font I like the most. Cricut Design Space has so many different fonts that you can use. I sized this, but the length, I didn't make it too big. I did want this to be smaller than the welcome sign. For the word pumpkin, I decided to search for it. I first chose this one, but then I do end up switching it to a different one. For the word patch, I clicked on text, type in the word, and try different fonts. I really like the Annie Lou font, but I felt like it was too similar to the pumpkin font. So I decided to search for another pumpkin word, and I really like this one, so this is the one I chose. Not only did I change the pumpkin, but I also changed the font to our. I'm using a brown vinyl. I didn't have any smart brown vinyl, so I decided to use whatever I had, and I did have to use a matte on this. I'm going to use a little Cricut tool to read it, then I'm going to cut the words so I can add them to the palette individually. I have these small little pumpkins that I painted, and I decided to skip a plank and add the pumpkins and then add the word patch right underneath them. And look how cute this welcome to our pumpkin patch turned out. For my next project, I will be using this little decor sign that I got from the Dollar Tree. Now I'm going to measure it first before I paint it, which I will be painting using some white chalk paint and distress it using the antique wax. I went to Cricut Design Space and cut this out on 5s. Now before I add it to the decor piece, I'm going to see where I'm going to add these little leaves that I got a while back from the Target dollar spot. And you can leave it like that, but I decided to add some jute twine and add a jute twine bow. And that is it for this autumn 5 decor piece, which I think it turned out beautiful. For my last project, I'm using this 5x7 Dollar Tree picture frame. So this DIY, I actually did so many different versions of it, or at least for the back. Now I started off by adding this Dollar Tree cutting mat, which I cut it to size. But then when I added the back on the frame, I felt like it was way too see-through, so you can see everything, and I didn't like that. So instead of just adding the mat, I added a scrapbooking paper, which later on I'm going to end up switching to. But I went to Cricut Design Space and I found this image that said gather together, and it had some pumpkins, which I did cut in different colors. Like the gather is white vinyl, together is with brown, and the little leaf is like an orangey color. I honestly wasn't liking the background, so I decided to remove it and try it by itself, which I did like. But then I decided to add a brown back. But before I added the back, I added these leaves. And that is it for this sign, which I think it turned out beautiful. For my last project, I will be using this clear bucket or pail that I got from Walmart. It was 97 cents. I used my ruler to measure this. Then I went to Cricut Design Space and cut this image that has these little pumpkins, and it has the word pumpkins. Now I'm going to just transfer it to the front. To decorate this some more, I will be adding some nautical rope to the top part of the bucket and to the handle. And that is it for this little bucket. Now I'm going to add some Dollar Tree pumpkins to decorate this. And that is it. Now let me know down in the comment section which one was your favorite, because I would love to know. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, bye.